Pandemanium Shadow Poo!
Hello, welcome to the Bronze Age Monsters Shadow Show. This is a show we make every other week for our loyal patrons. We've talked about so much stuff in the previous seasons, the previous 126 episodes. Oh my God, my cat just tried to knock over my whiskey. That's the kind of real life it is. We get this real life stuff. This is unfiltered. You got Moses jumping at me like a crazy fucking person. Yeah, I don't know. Cats, man. Anyhow, whiskey intact. And I'll go back to talking about the 126 shows that came before this one. We've talked about everything. And now for this this episode, we're going to be talking about the issue of Marvel Premiere number 32. Came out in October of 76, featuring MONARK STARSTALKer. And this is written and drawn by Howard Chaykin. And we talked about Chaykin earlier in our main show season on The Scorpion with Brad Michael Elmore.
Yeah. Different setting for Howard. He seems to like his 30s characters.
He does, but yeah, this is a totally different one. Yeah, it's cool. The cover calls it Savage Science Fantasy, which I think is pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yes, this is a very genre-bending story.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked before.
Yeah. Hey, forgive us. We just finished recording Tiger Man with our great friend Jason Feinstone, but it did our heads in. That comic did a number on me. I needed to start drinking whiskey at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I didn't have any whiskey. So.
Oof, I'm so sorry. That would have been rough.
That was a soul-sucking experience. Not talking to Jason, that was fun. The comic was soul-sucking.
Yeah, Jesus. And Jason was telling us, oh, you guys try and find the good and stuff. And we do try and find the good and stuff. Because the good mostly comes, the good for a bad comic comes from you and I talking about it. And we have fun, and we notice different stuff, and that normally saves it. Oof, Tiger Man, rough.
Yeah, there's very few silver linings.
Yep. So I'm excited to talk about this, to give a little short review of, Marvel Premiere 32.
Me too. So this is just a quick review. Like we've said throughout the season, we're kind of backing off of the deep coverage on stuff in the Shadow Show and just kind of doing a review for you to check out yourself if you want to. So, I mean, what are your initial impressions of this thing after reading this?
Well, I'd never heard of the character. I mean, I'd never heard of the character.
Me either.
Before this. And I didn't know what to expect, but my initial feelings on the character was cool. I liked it. I liked this character a lot.
I thought it was really interesting. I'm not... I feel like when you talk about your relationship with sword and sorcery stuff, that's how I feel about sci-fi in general. So there's exceptions to that. I love Dune. I love the odd, Ray Bradbury story or whatever. But in general, I don't connect with sci-fi largely. So this is something that I would kind of think I'm not going to love so much. But, it also does that thing like first season of The Mandalorian, which is it's just essentially a Western in space.
It's a Western.
Right? So meets Lone Wolf and Cub, which is Mandalorian.
Yeah, and we love Westerns.
Yeah. So I have talked about before when we talked about Caleb Hammer. I've become a huge fan of Westerns as an adult reading Western comics. So this does a lot of that stuff. Like what was that Sean Connery movie, Outland? That's basically High Noon out in space. Have you ever watched that?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's just High Noon in space. It's awesome. It's like from the early 70s. Check it out. Outland or Outlander.
Cool.
I think it's Outland. Worth watching. But it just proves that, right? I mean, Westerns are just samurai stories in the West, and sci-fi stories are largely just Westerns in space. So I do connect with those ones that are more like that. The more high concept, whatever stuff I kind of have a hard time connecting with. But when it's just cowboy shit like this, I totally get behind it. So why don't you describe who Monarch Skystalker is so people can kind of get a sense of, I'm just showing the art here as we talk, so we're not going to go beat by beat through any of this.
No. So Monarch Skystalker is essentially a android or synth, really, who's made of nanobots.
So I thought he was a human.
So he's a human.
But he does like a transhuman thing. So he's a rigger. I love this concept. And the letters column, I don't know if you looked at the letters about this issue a few issues later. Somebody says, like, I know where Chaykin got that idea from. They cite the sci-fi writer. But he says, 7 years ago, I was a rigger. My nervous system wired into my ship. So on patrol, I was attacked by hostile pursuits. I looked in all directions. My only escape was through a core of a nova. And so he has to basically, the only way to live and not get blown up by these pirates or whatever they are, is to like go straight through a nova. And the energy from the nova flowed through the sockets. His solar sails were bombarded by the star's energy. It flowed through the sockets at his wrists and his spine, incinerating his nervous system, his senses, and his memory. So I don't know, Jacob, if he was human at birth and he had his nervous system literally configured to be tied into his ship.
I think you are correct. I feel like I'm thinking of just like, reading the Marvel fandom and realizing he comes back in Nova, he comes back a few times, and I think that's where the nanobots kind of come into it. But yeah, like you said, I do think that I don't know, it's still confusing. I mean, yeah, maybe he was fully human. I think a transhuman thing is a little more accurate, but yeah, so his nervous system that was tied to his ship is fried. And so yeah, he has it now tied to a falcon.
Yeah,
named Ulysses.
Yeah, so that someone called the Technos, bless their ticking hearts, I guess they're robots, gave him Ulysses. So he has an artificial nervous system that's telepathically linked to him. So, I mean, this has almost like some cowboy stuff. It has like almost like medievally, like more Conan-y, like, he has a falcon, but it's an android. He has no sense of like touch or whatever. Like all of his nervous system was fried, so that he has this augmentation. So everything that he receives, all of his info and stimulation is from the bird. And, it has infrared. It has, he's more than human now. Same thing like Daredevil, right? Yeah. His senses are augmented by the loss. So I like that. I thought that was a cool concept.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. And the story kind of starts in a town called New Canaan. And this is where, and he's a bounty hunter. It's basically Jonah Hex.
Totally.
Like, because he goes, there's a sheriff, there's a guy, he's Bob Hightower. And Bob Hightower is like that's not the sheriff. That's like that is the sheriff. Okay.
Shaw
Bob Hightower is the sheriff. Shaw's the like businessman.
VP of try whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's some cool kind of unique stuff. I like that. I like the whole, like, that the men are they're sloganeering, right? So they're just kind of, so these people who work for Shaw are kind of, I don't know, they're easily swayed. They seem to love when, people get killed and dames and stuff. So it's kind of, I don't know, it seems like Chaykin is kind of, I don't know, commenting on the working man or the I don't know, just the dumbness of human society a little bit. I kind of saw a little bit of that coming through.
Yeah. And I like this. There's a general like cynicism that kind of runs through this whole thing from Chaykin. Like this big wig kind of guy that's associated with the federal government, but he's also a private corporate VP, which makes perfect sense, right? We're basically there now, like where it's just kind of like, I'm Tim from Apple, but I'm also in Trump's right ear all the time, So he goes there and basically tries to convince all these people, like, give up all your mining rights to all your minerals and we'll make you rich. You can go somewhere off to this goddamn frozen ice ball. I did like the setting of this. Like you said, New Canaan is on this planet that is perpetually winter. So I know that Monarch Skystalker wouldn't have stayed here, but I like this kind of like concept of like it's the opposite of Dune, right? It's not Caladan, it's frozen Caladan. Everything's
Yeah, but it's frozen because their terraformers stopped working long ago. And so, it used to have seasons and stuff. And that's another thing that I think is being promised them. It's also like, oh, you'll have the money to get these things started again. Like, you can either leave or you can stay here and you'll feel summer.
just sign over all your rights.
Sign over every right you have.
Right.
Correct.
And that's just like in a Western, that would be like oil, or that would be like railroad property or something like that, right? It's all just stuff we've seen before because humans don't change. Capitalism is going to exist like this form, even if it's amped up. But so that's why that guy's here. And they ask, the sheriff asks why Monarch Skystalker is in town, and he is seeking someone named Kurt Hammer, no relation to Caleb. And this guy killed 6 people on Tycho 3 weeks ago. So he's a loose cannon, just leaving a trail of dead bodies behind him. And so we get to go inside the bar, and I like the little touch of like there's this class thing where like there's one restaurant in this whole town, and there's a like special area for off-worlders because like they don't even want to mix with the hoi polloi of the miners or whatever they are. They're too filthy and disgusting. Some just classic Western beats. A guy comes up here and shoves a Monarch's drink in his face. Bar fight goes down. We meet a local girl who's a native, I believe, or part native. And she's kind of like his guide here. This is cool. He gets some sexy times. He tells her his secret origin story. So that's how we know about Ulysses and his weird abilities. I mean, the art through this, and we're not even talking about the art. The art is like the star, right?
Yeah, it's Chaykin at his best. Like this is the level that you want Chaykin at. Even the Scorpion was him still kind of figuring out like his whole deal. He wasn't at 100% yet. This is Chaykin at 100%.
Yeah.
Like the storytelling, the art, the women, everything that he does the best is on display here.
Yeah, so I mean, we won't talk too much about the second half because it's, whatever Hammer, what was his name? Johnny Hammer?
Yeah. Johnny Hammer, Frank Hammer,
Kevin.
Yeah.
So he comes in, he ends up killing that big mucky muck and taking off, and Monarch Skystalker is in hot pursuit because that's his bounty. And so the rest of the issue is this whole kind of thing going down on this ice encrusted, perpetually snowing hellscape, essentially. And it's just a classic Manhunter thing. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it was really, really cool. Definitely worth checking out. And if I'm correct, it's in the Chaykin collection that came out from Fantagraphics, Lost Marvels. I think it is.
You said it was, but I didn't check after last episode, so I don't actually know.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to be the one to say that wrong, but Monarch Star, because it's the Lost Marvels #2. It's Howard Chaykin, so it has Dominic Fortune, Monarch Starstalker, and Phantom Eagle.
Oh, I need to get that.
It's pretty
How many
good.
pages those are? Like 150, 200 pages, you think?
Yeah, it's not small.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're worth it. I mean, they're 50.
Sorry.
They're 50 bucks. I mean, I hope they're not completely out of print already. I kind of think they're
not oversized then for $50, right? They're normal size.
Well, no, they're a little oversized.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should probably get one of them. I'm just looking at this art, man. I
know.
I need all the Chaykin Marvel stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So, I mean, just final thoughts here, I guess, on this. The art was absolutely stunning. I thought a Western wrapped in sci-fi clothes, wrapping paper, very cool. The concept of the character, apparently, like I said, somebody in the letters column said he kind of nicked that whole kind of rigor concept, but whatever, genius steals. Talent borrows, genius steals. I would have taken another 12 issues of this. I I love Jonah Hex. I love the one and done, like each issue is a case. I love that cleanness. I love continuity and background characters and all the drama and all the stuff like Spider-Man, but I also love just Jonah Hex just hunting a dude down and you get that story and the next issue is an entirely new story. I love that episodicness.
Yeah, me too. No, I really enjoyed this. I also would have loved another 12 issues. I guess the character shows up numerous times later on. Nothing that I've really read. There's some stuff in Nova. There's some other stuff that I think expands on the character a little bit more than Chaykin has here. But no, I love the art is amazing. This is some of my favorite Chaykin stuff. Like Chaykin is so good. And this issue is 100% worth tracking down. It's not expensive at all to buy the single issue, which I'd like to get myself. And but the Lost Marvels also has it. It's really good. I used my purchasing sway at the library to. That's the one thing. I'm just like, I kind of put in the order for the adult services stuff. And they're like, do you really think someone's going to read this? And I'm like, yeah, they will. I have a lot of goodwill built up. So Klamath Falls Library is getting every one of the Lost Marvels and every one of the Atlas Comic Library thing that's going to happen. And we just are.
Have they slated, like, is there a slate of Lost Marvels? Do they know how many?
Yeah, I can't remember what the next one is. It was something from the 80s, I thought. I think it's Savage Tales from the 80s.
Oh, I want that.
Which it's the Savage Tales stuff. So yeah, it looks really cool, but it is long out of print. It was never collected. And that's kind of what they're doing with these Lost Marvels, because the first one was Tower of Shadows, never collected. Yep. And so the Fantagraphics is putting out cool shit with these Lost Marvels. But I'd get them right away. Yeah. Because they're low print runs.
Yeah. I believe Jared from Swords and Scrolls was posting some stuff from that late 80s, early 90s Savage Tales stuff, and it was awesome. A lot of war stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was all kinds of stuff. So, God damn it. I'll have to get that too.
I know.
Breaking my wallet.
So that one's out in mid-February of 2026.
All right. Well, folks, if you have any interest at all in Howard Chaykin, get that Lost Marvels, because as I mentioned, I think on the last Shadow show, that Tower of whatever thing is out of print, hard to get, already jacking up the price on it. So don't wait on these, is what we're saying. If you have any interest, order it now. Cool. Well, this is kind of a short one, but we just wanted to touch on Monarch Skystalker, and I really dug it. Like the more I thought about it after I read it too, like it just kind of rises. Like I was just reading with a big grin, thinking this is just a Jonah Hex in space, and I love that. But yeah, just reviewing the art again while we're talking about it, it's like, God damn, this is even gorgeouser than I remembered. So
yeah, on reread, it just rises in my esteem. I loved it.
Agreed. So yeah, we're gonna keep this one short, and then we're gonna come back for a free jazz on our next Shadow show. So I'm gonna do a little show and tell thing. Like I promised we're gonna do some show and tell. I do have like a couple of things that are just like, I think not widely known enough, and that I really love. I've loved for like more than 15 years. So it's like, I'm gonna put this out here, and just maybe somebody will see it. Maybe somebody will care. Maybe someone else will read it.
Yeah. I'll do the same. So yeah, we'll do a nice show and tell of some of our favorite, lesser known comic runs.
Awesome. Right on. All right.
Well, that was a good one. And we kept it short this time, but short and sweet. Buy MONARK STARSTALKER. And as we say, Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Yeah. You know what it is.
Say it.
It's the Shadow Show.